But off the top at 5, testimony today could decide between guilt and innocence for a woman accused of killing her boyfriend's 3-year-old daughter. Kamee Dixon took the stand to answer questions about the day Hazel Holman died. Thanks for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Jamie Tompkins.
And I'm David Rose. Prosecutors say the 3-year-old's death is homicide by abuse. Fox 13 News reporter Frankie Thompson has been on top of this trial since it started, and she has the very latest now from Bellingham.
Kamee Dixon remembers November 27, 2019, starting as a normal day. She says she bathed 3-year-old Hazel Holman, wrapped her up in a blanket, and placed her on a couch with a sandwich. She went into a different room and says when she came back, she found Hazel unresponsive.
I looked over at Hazel and she was slumped up against the couch.
What did you do at that point?
I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was very, very wrong when I looked at Hazel. It was like the lights in her eyes were off.
Dixon claims Hazel was choking and immediately tended to her. She said the child had locked jaw, so Dixon opened her mouth and scooped out food. Dixon says the 3-year-old still wasn't breathing after that.
I remember grabbing her body and throwing it over my arm and pounding on her back, thinking maybe some food would come up or something. That didn't help. So then I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I do CPR? So I am not a medical professional. I'm not trained, and I wish that I would have been, but I figured if she wasn't choking, then she needed some CPR. So I began to do CPR.
Dixon tells the court Hazel was still unresponsive after she attempted CPR. She says she grabbed the child in her arms and ran out of her apartment, banging on the doors of her neighbors until someone opened up. Dixon says she used that neighbor's cell phone to call 911, and paramedics arrived shortly after. Hazel is the daughter of Brandon Holman, Dixon's boyfriend. The child was in Dixon's care while Holman went to work. Prosecutors accused Dixon of abuse, causing a deadly brain injury consistent with shaken baby syndrome. The defense says her death is not the result of abuse, but rather a tragic accident of choking on food that led to injuries causing her death. Reporting in Bellingham, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.